I'm excited. What up, loves, and welcome back to my channel, Ilum Reads, or if you are new here, welcome to this messy channel. My name is Will, and today I'm going to be doing something very, very exciting, something that I have been wanting to do for a very long time, and that is the history of my bookshelf challenge. Okay, for everyone who doesn't know what the history of my bookshelf challenge is, it was first created by Emma over on Emma Books. I will be leaving a link to her channel and her vlog of this challenge as well down in the description below. A while ago, what Emma did was that she created 25 prompts within this challenge that are all centered around past experiences and memories that we may have had with our beloved books. Basically, what you have to do is root through your shelves to fill up those certain prompts that she has created. A couple of rules that she created for herself was that she did time herself, which I am also going to do here on this channel with this vlog. And one other rule that she created for herself was that she did not allow herself to choose more than one book in a series for each prompt. So basically, once she picked a book out of that series was done. She could no longer use that series. And yeah, we're just going to follow all of those challenges and we're just gonna have some fun today. Like, why not? I'm gonna start the timer right now. What is the oldest book on your shelf? Now, there's so much gray area here because I don't know if it's like the oldest story or just the oldest book in general. We're just gonna go with the oldest story and I'm going to say this book. Okay, second question. What is a book that you read in 2013? Oh my goodness. Where was I? 2013. Oh, okay. That book. What is a book that you read in 2014? 2014. Oh my goodness. Okay. No, I want to save her. Yes. I hope, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. No second guessing, Will. No second guessing. What is a book that you read in 2015? Okay. 2015. Oh, okay. I know what book. I don't have it on my shelf anymore. You know what? We're just going to use and just call it a day. What is a book that you read in 2016? 2016. Oh, that's right. What is a book that you read in 2017? 2017, I read. We're just going to do that. What is a book that you read in 2018? Now, that was only 2 years ago. I should remember this. However, I don't. Yeah. What is happening? Oh! Wow. Okay. What is a book that you read in 2019? What is a book that I read last year? Trying to I don't know what I'm trying to say, honestly. Nope, I read that one this year. Oh my gosh, I'm losing. Oh! Okay. All right. What is a book that you read more than once? Book? What is a book that you waited over a year to be published? I can't use that. I don't know. I'm gonna just pick this one. What is a book that you read on vacation or away from home? That's difficult. I don't take vacations. I'm poor. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're just going to skip that one for right now. Name a book that you received from someone special. Got it. This one's gonna be funny because yeah. Name a book that made you cry. I have to skip this one as well, only because I haven't cried at a book yet, but I'm hoping that it'll change. And I feel like people see me as emotionless now. However, the very opposite is so true. I'm very emotional. It doesn't come out in books. Oh, I'm such a loser. What is a book that you associate with certain food? I'm gonna do that. What is a book that you read in one sitting? Okay. Name a book that was a gift. Ooh, where'd they go? Got it. Name a book that you lent to someone else. Crap, I already used that. What is a book that you read with a friend or a group? This book. What is a book that you have that is damaged? Oh, I used it. Oh, got it. What is a book that you got on sale or discounted? Well, since I work at a bookstore, a lot of my books are discounted, but we're gonna go with this one I just bought. What is a book that you associate with a song? Can't use that. I'm gonna use this. What is a book that you've gotten years ago that you wouldn't buy today? Oh, yep, that has to go. Name a book that you associate with a specific time in your life. Ooh. And there go the books. What is a book that you used to like but don't anymore? Oh, I can't. Oh. Last question is, what is the newest book on your shelf? And that would be this book. Time. 12 minutes and 55 seconds. That took a lot longer than I expected, and I'm quite sad about it, but you know, first time we did it, it's cool. Okay, to go through these books, just to talk about a little bit about them, let's go back to the first question. What is the oldest book on your shelf? The oldest book on my shelf that I picked would have to be The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I chose it because this is the oldest story that I have, only because I remember having to read it in high school. There's not a lot that I remember about it just because it was so long ago. I've been out of high school for like, it's been over 10 years now I've been out of high school. But like, I didn't mind it, but I didn't like it either, so yeah. And a book that I read in 2013, I picked Twilight by Stephenie Meyer because I remember...
Whoops, there it goes. Yep, my brain stopped.
I remember it was around the time Breaking Dawn was coming out. I'm so bad with dates. I'm very, very sorry. But I remember my best friend telling me how basically she went through this entire series in 3 days. And I was just like, okay, well, if it's that good, let me read it. It took me about like 2 months just to get through the entire series, only because Bella's thoughts and Edward's thoughts, we're not going to go into it. I already talked about it in my Midnight Sun video. A book that I read in 2014, I read The Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. Again, I don't remember too much about this series. I do know that it's basically about an academy filled with vampires. I remember that. I don't remember anything about this series. Oh my gosh! Wow, I am so sorry. I don't remember anything about this series at all. Like, I remember that there was a vampire who was charged to protect another vampire because she was considered royalty. But other than that, I don't really remember much about this series. It's been quite a while. I'm sorry. A book that I read in 2015 would have to be the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. I tried. Again, I spoke about how I feel about this entire series in my books that I DNF'd. I know that this isn't the 50 Shades of Grey, this is the 50 Shades of Darker, but I actually lent that book out to a friend and I never got it back, and I just don't see any reason for me to even go out and repurchase it again because I don't want it. Maybe I should unhaul these because I'm never going to read these. A book that I read in 2016 was the Maze Runner series, and again, this is another book slash series that I talked about in books series that I DNF. I did get through the first trilogy. I didn't get through the prequels. I didn't mind the Maze Runner. Like, I remember reading it when I moved in with my best friend at the time, and like I went through like this book like I was eating a piece of chicken. But other than that, like, a book that I read in 2017 would have to be Cassie Clare's Lord of Shadows. I was so excited. I remember exactly where I was. I was in Hershey, PA, because I had gone and auditioned to be part of the Hershey Park shows that summer, and I got in. I passed the audition. I was a part of one of their shows. And so I lived out in the Hershey, PA area for a little bit and performed with so many other talented individuals. It was a really, really good time. And I remember while living there, I went to the Books A Million bookstore out that way, in like the Harrisburg area. And I saw on the shelf, oh, not Books A Million, woo! Target. I went to the Target area. Yeah. I went to the Target store out there in that area and I saw that Lord of Shadows had come out after I had read Lady Midnight a year earlier than 2017. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's here. And I snatched that up with a quickness. A book that I read in 2018 would have to be the Darkest Mind series. I remember this because this was after my contract was up in Hershey, PA, and I had to come back and try to figure out what was like my next step in life, and I honestly had no clue. But I do know that my love of books basically stayed, and so I went and interviewed for a job at my local Books A Million store within my own town. And I remember that this was around the time that The Darkest Minds movie first came out, and there was just such a big buzz about it that I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to drop the money and just pick up the entire series and read them. Again, I didn't finish the series. It's in my DNF video. A book that I read in 2019. A book that I read in 2019 would have to be Arch Enemies, and I absolutely adored this series only because I'm such a nerd and it has to do with so many superheroes. I remember that I even suggested this series by Marissa Meyer to a old co-worker of mine after I came back from the Hershey, PA, and I was like, you have to read the series because he's like me. We both just love superheroes. For the book that I read more than once, I chose Please Don't Go Before I Get Better, Poems by Madison Kuhn. This book kind of ignited my love of poetry even a little bit more. Basically, like, this entire series is told like it was written in like a diary, which I thought was kind of fascinating, but it's so raw and honest that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Like I equate with like so many of these poems here. A book that I waited over a year to be published would have to be Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. By Rainbow Rowell. Woo! This is the sequel to Carry On. I believe I read this year because I read Carry On in 2018. Yeah, I read it in 2018. And yeah, I finally picked it up this year and I read it. It wasn't my favorite book. I don't really have a lot of pleasant memories with it. Not that I have bad memories with it either. It was just a book that just didn't stick out for me. So I read the next question wrong. I thought it said from someone special. It's someplace special, a book that you received from someplace special. However, I'm gonna just go with how I said it the first time, and that's that someone special. And this one is kind of funny because I received this one when I was a kid, and that would have to be the sequel to the On the Run series by Gordon Corman, and it's the Kidnap series. I remember it was during Christmas time and my cousin had found the sequel to this book, to the series, and I was like, oh my gosh, you were seriously the best cousin ever. It really doesn't take that much to make me happy. Now, I skipped the next question, and that was a book that made you cry. Again, not a book yet has made me cry just yet, but I'm hoping to find one soon. If you guys know of any books that have made you cry, that have made you emotional, or it just got you in your feels, please let me know down in the comments below, and because, you know, I'm willing to check it out, and I'm willing to take that next adventure and crying even more. A book that I associate with a certain food would have to be Sailor Moon manga, only because I remember as a kid watching the original anime. I want to go and visit Japan so badly, only because I just want to taste their cuisine, because in anime, or basically in any cartoon, their food always looks so delicious. I was like researching like their different types of cuisine and everything like that, like their rolled omelets. I'm going to butcher some lingo, so I'm not even going to try. I want to try like their bento boxes and everything. And like I remember in the original anime, they had a lot of showing like different types of food and everything like that. A book that I read in one sitting would have to be by my friend KAELA PRALL. I am so sorry, KAELA. I'm a failure. And this is her book of poetry. It is called Rupture and Repair, and it's a small collection of healing and vulnerability. She equates her feelings within words so raw and just so passionately. She actually gifted this to me when we found each other on social media. I can link her Instagram link where you can see some of her work down below in the description if you guys are like, and if she's okay with it. But yeah, it's a very, very beautiful collection of poetry, and I do suggest that if you are in love with poetry yourselves, please go and pick up her collection here. A book that I got as a gift is actually the Hunger Games series. I remember that my mother, she went out and bought the entire collection for me many years ago, and it wasn't cheap. I got reminded of that memory here, and thank you, Mommy. A book that I lent to somebody else would have to be The Princess Saves Herself in this one. This is another poetry collection. I actually lent this out to my best friend after I had discovered it and went through it. And it's just more honest poetry by Amanda Lovelace. She evokes such straightforward poetry, but she still hits you in your feels, which is pretty amazing. A book that I read with a friend or a group would have to be Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix book. It was something that I sort of read with like my best friend, only because she was just having a time with it at the time because she just could not stand Dolores Umbridge. Dolores Umbridge was just such a we couldn't stand that character whatsoever. We tried reading it together around that time just to help her get through it. Yeah, a book that I have that is damaged would have to be The Slippery Slope Within the Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I had wanted to pick up this series for quite a while. Originally, I had borrowed the books from my best friend because she had them all at the time, and I did try reading it, but again, this is a series that I had to DNF just because I couldn't stand the repetitiveness of what the children had to go through. I do kind of like want to go through them one more time now that I'm a little bit older now and everything, just to muscle my way through it. I had got these online, I believe at Thrift Books, and they had put like some stickers on the side and on the front and everything like that, and I was trying my best to peel those off, and I kind of damaged them a little bit. Like this one here is my fault, and on this side is my fault as well. So, but up here, like it's a little bit damaged. I know you can't like really see it a little bit, but it's nothing huge until I made it huge, which is just me. A book that I got discounted. I actually picked up this book yesterday because I work in a bookstore and so I get a discount. Yay. And that is The Whisper Man by Alex North. I couldn't read his name on the front, I'm sorry. I picked up this book because I've been hearing so much praise about it, and I kind of want to read it for like this spooky reading type situation that I'm trying to plan for like more fall-ish weather around maybe middle September, early October. So just be on the lookout for that. A book that I associate with the song would have to be the Michael Jackson tapes. This one is sort of like a little, I don't want to call it a biography, because it's more written interviews basically before Michael Jackson died and everything, just going back through his life and just his side of events and everything like that. I don't want to get too much into it because I can honestly just spend all day with it. I remember reading his interviews, and it was just so eye-opening, and it just helped readers to delve a lot more into what really is a tragic life that he honestly lived. I might talk more about it later, but for right now, yeah, like I picked it because like his music is iconic and it still lives on today. I really do believe that he was a musical genius, and he's always been like one of my performing inspirations like ever. A book that I had gotten years ago that I wouldn't pick up today would have to be The Crusade book in the Wicked series by Nancy Holder and Debbie the Gay. Again, this is another book that I had DNF'd many years ago. That's also in my DNF series. I don't have much to say about it. I wouldn't pick it up again. A book that I associate with a certain time in my life would have to be my Avatar, The Last Airbender search graphic novel, only because like I remember watching Avatar for the very first time in my early 20s, and I absolutely fell in love with this American cartoon because it was styled in such a different and unique way. It was styled after anime. People call it like American anime. It was so different around the time because this is a cartoon that's stuck with a story plot. It's becoming huge again. If you haven't, please watch it on Netflix right now. Avatar: The Last Airbender is on there, as well as its sequel, The Legend of Korra. I want to go back and try to pick up the rest of the manga series when I get some money. But yeah, this was such a really good read, and it just filled me with so much nostalgia of when I first watched the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. For the name of book that I used to like but I don't anymore, would have to be the Warrior Air series. Another book that I had DNF'd. I had finished the original trilogy, but then I found out that Cinda Williams, China, she went back and wrote 2 more stories, but I didn't read those because I read these so long ago. I didn't have a bad time with it. It was just, it didn't keep my interest, so I just had to like move on to something else. And the newest book on my shelf would have to be The Help by Catherine Stockett. I actually just purchased this book last night. I've had it on hold for me. I've watched the movie, but I know that the movies and the books differ, so I'm excited to get into this one. And that is all my books for all of the prompts that I was able to do here. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you guys had some fun watching it. If you did this challenge, please let me know in the comments how it went, and if you're planning to do it, I highly urge you to. Again, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. All right, you guys, if you like this video, please please subscribe for more bookish content from me. I do try to post new content every single Friday, and yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you all guys soon. All right, bye.